Amorim just drew the line. The boss dropped a star who ridiculed him on social media, sparking chaos. Plus, we reveal the worrying sign Kobbie Mainoo showed right before the win. If you want the full breakdown on this huge drama, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss the truth about Rashford's granted wish and the star outcast. Let's go. Man United news. Ruben Amorim drops star who ridiculed him as Marcus Rashford wish granted. Manchester United head into another week of domestic action with West Ham and Wolves up next. Manchester United are looking ahead to another week of Premier League action following a crucial 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Games are coming fast and thick heading into the festive season as Ruben Amorim looks to kickstart the Red Devils' form once again. Recently, United's good run of form has been disrupted by draws against Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. A 1-0 loss to 10-man Everton was a harsh blow for the Red Devils, but Amorim urged his players to reset and go again. A comeback against Palace at Selhurst Park has seen United leapfrog into the top half of the table. Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount canceled out Jean-Philippe Mateta's opener from the penalty spot as 3 points made their way back to Old Trafford. Games against West Ham and Wolves are up next, before a visit from Bournemouth and a trip to Aston Villa. Here, Mirror Football has all the latest coming out of Old Trafford. Amorim dropped star who ridiculed him. Ruben Amorim dropped Patrick Dorgu for the 2-1 win over Crystal Palace, citing anxiety around the young defender. Recently, the Danish fullback appeared to ridicule Amorim's choice to play Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in a midfield pivot after he liked a post criticizing the decision on social media. While Dorgu being dropped to the bench may have been a disciplinary issue, Amorim set the record straight by confirming why he made the change. The Portuguese boss insisted that he is trying to find a solution to help the defender perform to his true ability. Amorim said, "What I feel when I see them training, they are doing so much better than in games. When I see him playing for the national team, he scored a great goal against Scotland. The decision that he made under pressure was different to the decision that he's making in our team. So I just need to understand the context in trying to help them. I think they are far from the best, and they know it. Like a lot of players in our team, like myself, I think they have so much more to give. Let's see this week if we improve that." Highlighting the tension felt on the pitch, he added, "He needs to be calmer playing the game. You can feel the anxiety every time Patrick touched the ball. I can feel it, the anxiety. And I remember the shot missed against Everton. That was easier than the decision that he had to make when the guys from Scotland were there, when he made a great decision. And I saw it when he played in Italy, but again, here is different. And sometimes the pressure is hard for them in the beginning, but he has time to improve." Marcus Rashford wish granted. Marcus Rashford has fulfilled his dream of playing at the Camp Nou as Barcelona ran out 3-1 winners over Alaves on Saturday. The United loanee made his first appearance at the club's revamped stadium at the weekend, coming on as a halftime substitute in the win. Rashford has had the image of playing at the iconic stadium in his mind since joining in the summer, stating that it will be an enjoyable experience. At the time, the English forward said, "It's a very nice feeling. It's a beautiful stadium, and when it is full, it's going to be unbelievable. Camp Nou was always one of my favorite stadiums and one I wanted to play in. But to play on it for Barcelona is going to be a different feeling. I cannot wait to be on the pitch. I will enjoy it." The 28-year-old has impressed so far for the Catalan club, scoring 6 goals and assisting 9 times in all competitions. This includes a stunning double against Newcastle in the Champions League, as well as strikes against Olympiacos, Sevilla, and Elche.
Man United news, Ruben Amorim drops star who mocked him as £26 million outcast gets his wish. Manchester United are looking ahead to a crucial festive fixture list and January transfer window after bouncing back to winning ways against Crystal Palace. Manchester United are gearing up for another big week of Premier League action following a vital 2-1 victory over Crystal Palace. Fixtures are arriving thick and fast as the festive period and January transfer window approaches, with Ruben Amorim seeking to reignite the Red Devils' momentum once more. United's promising spell had been hampered by stalemates against Tottenham and Nottingham Forest before a 1-0 defeat to 10-man Everton dealt a crushing blow to the Red Devils, though Amorim encouraged his squad to regroup and bounce back. A fight back against Palace at Selhurst Park has propelled United into the table's upper half. Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount overturned Jean-Philippe Mateta's spot kick opener to gain 3 precious points. Clashes with West Ham and Wolves lie ahead, followed by a home encounter with Bournemouth and a journey to Aston Villa. Here's all the latest developments from Old Trafford. Amorim sidelines star who mocked him. Ruben Amorim benched Patrick Dorgu for the 2-1 triumph over Crystal Palace, pointing to anxiety surrounding the young defender. The Danish fullback recently appeared to mock Amorim's decision to deploy Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro as a midfield pairing after he liked a social media post that slammed the tactical choice, reports The Mirror. While Dorgu's demotion to the bench might have seemed like a disciplinary matter, Amorim clarified his reasoning behind the decision. The Portuguese manager explained that he's attempting to find ways to help the defender reach his full potential. Amorim said, "What I feel when I see them training, they are doing so much better than in games. When I see him playing for the national team, he scored a great goal against Scotland. The decision that he made under pressure was different to the decision that he's making in our team. So I just need to understand the context in trying to help them. I think they are far from the best, and they know it. Like a lot of players in our team, like myself, I think they have so much more to give. Let's see this week if we improve that." Drawing attention to the nerves visible during matches, he continued, "He needs to be calmer playing the game. You can feel the anxiety every time Patrick touched the ball. I can feel it, the anxiety. And I remember the shot missed against Everton. That was easier than the decision that he had to make when the guys from Scotland were there when he made a great decision. And I saw it when he played in Italy. But again, here is different, and sometimes the pressure is hard for them in the beginning, but he has time to improve." Marcus Rashford wish granted. Marcus Rashford has realized his ambition of gracing the Camp Nou pitch, as Barcelona secured a 3-1 victory over Alaves on Saturday. The United outcast, on loan in La Liga, made his debut appearance at the club's renovated stadium over the weekend, entering the action as a halftime substitute in the triumph. Rashford has harbored visions of performing at the legendary venue since his summer arrival, describing it as something he would relish. Speaking previously, the English striker revealed, "It's a very nice feeling. It's a beautiful stadium, and when it is full, it's going to be unbelievable. Camp Nou was always one of my favorite stadiums and one I wanted to play in, but the play on it for Barcelona is going to be a different feeling. I cannot wait to be on the pitch. I will enjoy it." The 28-year-old has made a strong impression for the Catalan Giants so far, netting 6 goals and providing 9 assists across all competitions. His tally includes a spectacular brace against Newcastle in the Champions League, plus strikes against Olympiacos, Sevilla, and Elche, with Barca expected to exercise an option to buy and make his signing permanent next summer in a cut-price £26 million deal.
David Moyes has major problem that undermines everything he's doing at Everton. Everton boss David Moyes had seen his team claim an improbable victory with 10 men at Manchester United on Monday night, but had to watch as they were sunk at home by Newcastle United. In the midst of a drubbing, there was one moment that symbolized a problem that threatens to undermine everything David Moyes is trying to do. Thierno Bari thought he had finally opened his account for the club when his sliced miss kick spun past Aaron Ramsdale. Alas, VAR got involved and spotted that Bari had inadvertently set up the chance with his arm. And so, that means Bari, who cost £27 million from Villarreal, has played 464 minutes of Premier League football without scoring, without assisting, without registering a single shot on target. Rightly, the 23-year-old French striker was praised for his physical endeavor in the wins over Manchester United and Fulham, and those left inside the stadium gave him a decent ovation when he was substituted late in the hammering by Newcastle United. His effort, enthusiasm, and commitment cannot be questioned, but Moyes is going to need a striker who carries more threat if Everton's season is going to develop into a positive one. Bari's struggles are highlighted when Moyes' defensive operation has an off day. and it was a major off day against Newcastle. From the get-go, we were very flat, said Jake O'Brien. For periods, we were good, but we just left ourselves open at times and gave them too many opportunities, and they took them. We were chasing the game, and we left ourselves wide open. It is important that we put it behind us and go into Tuesday, Everton are away at Bournemouth, with a positive mindset and come away with 3 points. Moyes refused to use the absence of key midfielder Idrissa Gueye, who was sent off for slapping teammate Michael Keane in a rare win at Manchester United on Monday, as an excuse for a performance full of holes. It could be that, but it could have been the quality of Newcastle United. You mustn't underestimate them. They're a Champions League team. They got off to a great start. We got off to a terrible start. They were much better than us, played better, and much more experienced than we are. You can see Newcastle are learning from the Champions League games. When they had to defend, they are hard to play against and really quick on the counterattack. We were beaten by the better team. There is no doubt about that. Joshua Zirkzee now has new Manchester United role that nobody saw coming. Chosen to lead the line despite speculation about his future, Joshua Zirkzee scored his first Premier League goal since last December as Manchester United came from behind to win at Crystal Palace. If Joshua Zirkzee does indeed leave Manchester United in January, then he will do so having finally broken his Premier League duck. It had been almost a full 12 months since the Dutchman had scored in the Premier League before he struck at Selhurst Park on Sunday. Zirkzee, a £34 million signing from Bologna in the latter months of Erik ten Hag's tenure, has seen chances be few and far between this season. The club's £200 million summer splurge on attacking talent, plus the return to fitness of Mason Mount, pushing him down the pecking order under Ruben Amorim. He could have gone in the summer had there been a buyer that met United's demands before Napoli's deal for Rasmus Højlund came to fruition. With Benjamin Sesko the new first choice in attack, and Matthews Cunha also ahead of him as Amorim's second tick for his side's number 9, Zirkzee is keen to leave when the transfer window reopens for more regular action. He needs it if he's to be in Holland's World Cup squad, and there's interest in Italy, notably from Roma, to take him back.
What Kobbie Mainoo did just before coming on vs Palace looked worrying. It didn't end well for Ten Hag earlier. Manchester United got back to winning ways with a confidence-inducing 2-1 win away at Crystal Palace, but what Kobbie Mainoo did just before coming on during the game isn't rosy. An away win at Crystal Palace is nothing to sweep under the rug at Man U TNID, having not won at Selhurst Park since 2020 before this game. Therefore, the 2-1 win, which takes Man U to European qualification spots in the table, is a huge boost, with Ruben Amorim also receiving a boost for the next game in the process. However, amidst all these nice developments, one can forgive Man U TNID fans for having déjà vu after seeing what Kobbie Mainoo did just before coming on vs Palace. Kobbie Mainoo's somber mood vs Palace. It's expected by now, but once again, Mainoo found himself on the bench against Palace, with the player yet to start a league game this season. At least he played the full second half against Everton, because against Palace he was used as an injury-time sub to kill some minutes near the end of the game. Eagle-eyed Man U TNID fans spotted Mainoo making no effort to hide his displeasure at the state of developments, with the players sporting a somber face. After watching the clip above, Man U TNID fans reached a point of acceptance on X, urging him to leave Old Trafford for his own good. Some shared their worst-case scenario of Mainoo leaving because of frustration at a lack of minutes, only for the club to sack Ruben Amorim eventually. Perhaps the most worrying thing about Mainoo's mood is that the last time a player looked like this on the sidelines, his manager at the time, Erik ten Hag, fell on the sword. Erik ten Hag was sacrificed for his treatment of Ahmad. It's Mainoo now, but fans will have déjà vu after seeing this expression because Ahmad was in the exact same state under Erik ten Hag. It was October 24, 2024, and United were away to Fenerbahce in the Champions League. Ahmad, as always, started on the bench under Ten Hag, despite the Dutchman playing Noussair Mazraoui as an attacking midfielder. The humiliation for Ahmad didn't stop there, as Antony came on before him in the 73rd minute, but picked up an injury soon after. And so in the 89th minute, Ahmad finally made his way to the pitch, and the glum expression he sported on the sidelines just before coming on came to represent Ten Hag's flailing tenure. he would be sacked less than a week later, and Ahmad started flying under Ruud van Nistelrooy, then Ruben Amorim. In Mainoo's case, the resolution won't be as quick. But considering Sir Jim Ratcliffe personally stepped in to stop him from moving in the summer window, Amorim must tread carefully. This is not player power winning against a manager. It's a case of a manager wasting a generational talent despite not getting good results with the players he is selecting. What Mason Mount did after full time against Crystal Palace showed true leadership. Mason Mount helped to lead Manchester United's comeback against Crystal Palace, and he continued to show his value beyond the final whistle. Manchester United fell behind at Selhurst Park to Jean-Philippe Mateta's penalty, although the Crystal Palace striker had to take 2 attempts at his spot kick after his first was ruled to have touched both feet. Lenny Yoro conceded the penalty after clumsily tripping Mateta in the first half. It was an afternoon to forget for the French defender, who was taken off and replaced by Noussair Mazraoui in the second half. Thankfully, Ruben Amorim inspired his players to a second-half comeback, with Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount scoring their first goals of the season to give United a 2-1 win over Palace. Mount is a popular figure in United's dressing room, and he took it upon himself to lift Yoro's spirits after full time. Mason Mount supported Lenny Yoro after Crystal Palace mistake. Yoro was visibly upset with himself after being taken off against Palace. Despite starting brightly, his confidence clearly took a hit after conceding the penalty. Even after the full-time whistle, Yoro appeared dejected as United players went to applaud the traveling supporters.
Manchester United player ratings versus Crystal Palace with an 8-10 as Ruben Amorim secures big win. Man United won 2-1 against Crystal Palace in the Premier League, and here are how the players rated at Selhurst Park. Manchester United won 2-1 against Crystal Palace in the Premier League on Sunday. United needed to respond to a shocking defeat against Everton at the beginning of the week, and they secured an important win on the road. Jean-Philippe Mateta opened the scoring in the 36th minute from the penalty spot. Lenny Yoro clumsily brought the forward to the ground, and Mateta fired Palace into a well-deserved lead. United equalized in the second half through Joshua Zirkzee before Mason Mount scored the winner. Here are how United's players rated at Selhurst Park. Senny Lamens made a few saves you would expect him to make in the first half, but he was the pick of a bad bunch in the opening 45 minutes. 6. Lenny Yoro. Kai Rooney granted Old Trafford debut chance after Sir Jim Ratcliffe U-turn at Man United. Wayne Rooney's son, Kai, could make his Old Trafford debut next month as Manchester United's under-18s take part in the FA Youth Cup, following a Sir Jim Ratcliffe U-turn at Man United. Kai Rooney could finally follow in his father's footsteps in gracing the hallowed turf of Old Trafford. The 15-year-old Manchester United youth star has impressed at academy level, able to operate as a center forward or on the wing. However, due to his age bracket, he is yet to play at the Reds' home ground. But that could all change in December, when Darren Fletcher's under-18s take to the third round of the FA Youth Cup against Peterborough United. The side were denied the chance to play at the Theatre of Dreams last season in the 5th round of the competition, as Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos looked to cut costs across the board, as per the Daily Mail. They instead played the game at the Leigh Sports Village. This time round, however, the United youth team have been given the green light to play the match at Old Trafford, which could see Rooney make his long-awaited debut at the famed stadium, given he is part of Fletcher's group. It comes as Rooney nears the end of his recovery from injury, which has sidelined him for a large part of the season. The youngster made just 2 appearances this term before suffering the issue at the turn of September. In the months since, he has hinted that he has recovered well and has even returned to grass, but it could be a race against time to be at full fitness in time for next month's clash. However, his father, Wayne Rooney, may not be able to watch him as he runs out at the Stretford end. That's because it recently came to light that the Manchester United and England legend is unable to attend his son's matches as a result of his own fame. During a stint on ITV's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here last year, Wayne's wife, Colleen, explained, "That's the thing with kids, I think. It's hard to go on days out." Kai told Wayne to stop coming to football games when he played grassroots tournaments and stuff because he used to get swarmed and he couldn't even watch the game. How do you say to all of these kids, "Go away, I'm watching my son"? adults. It's different, you could speak to them. So he just said, "Oh, Dad, there's no point you coming because you don't even watch me play anyway," which is sad, but it can't be helped anyway. At the same time, the fans help you along the way and get you where you are. While he has been unable to watch his son compete in person, Wayne has explained that he still plays a major part in his son's development with words of wisdom at home. Speaking on the Wayne Rooney Show last month, the 40-year-old explained, "I'm quite lucky where I live, as I've got a little pitch there, and when the kids say we're coming on the pitch, all they're going to do is tie the balls on the top corner. So when I say to them when I was younger, I remember setting a little square to practice passing into it and just playing off the wall. So I'm very similar. I tell them, you need to work on your speed. You need to work on your technique and control. Otherwise, you go out and you're just like, watch me hit the ball in the top corner." On his son's progression, he added, "He's just playing. He's a 15-year-old boy playing his football, enjoying it. Of course, he gets different attention to a lot of his teammates, but I think he handles that really well.